Hi, my name is Andrew Devlin, and I first came in to see Dr. Brooks around about 6 months ago. I've been highly dyslexic my whole life, horrible in school, left school feeling like I was an idiot, and sort of became a self-learner, but grew some businesses, did well in that element of things, but we have 4 children now, 8, 9, 9 and 10, and they're all homeschooled, and I started feeling more and more inadequate when my kids were asking me questions around math and spelling and reading, and I forgot how bad I was because I focused on what I'm good at rather than what I'm not good at, and it was just my inability to do certain things was becoming more and more apparent. And then just my ability, I felt like even though I was getting a lot of success in business, I was becoming more and more tired. So I felt like I had to push harder and harder and harder in order to get the results that I wanted, and that wasn't sustainable. So I came in to see Dr. Brooks to work on improving my ability to read, write, math, focus, and there was a lot of stuff we had to work through. And it was a full week, and the first day, I remember Dr. Brooks was saying, "You're probably going to be tired. You're probably going to sleep a lot tonight." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I've laid down most of the day, and I slept for like solid 12 hours, which is unheard of, and it was the least amount of physical work I think I've ever done in a week, but it was the most amount of work, and I was exhausted, processed, internally, externally, cleansed, and it was hardcore. But then after going through the experience of the week and going home, I noticed that I was able to focus a lot more. My energy level was up. I slept really good. But one thing that always happened at like events and seminars, I would be at the back of the room, or I'd be tapping my foot, and I'd just be like, "Okay, I'm bored now, I need to leave." And my wife does a lot of seminars with me, and she noticed I could sit still for the whole day, which is unheard of. And I felt like my retention was higher. I felt like my ability to be calm was a lot better. I felt like some simple things, the exercises that Dr. Brooks give me for at home, felt like they should have been a piece of cake, but I really struggled, and they started becoming easier. And business has continued to grow. I feel like I'm able to read at a higher rate. The biggest thing for me was comprehension. So reading, I was a very slow reader. So now I'm able to read, I'd say faster, but the comprehension's a lot deeper. So I'm here again, and I just had a tune-up, which is awesome. And I felt some shifts just from today, and I'm excited to see the results of those and how that affects my ability to be a dad, husband, and business owner. So in terms of ROI, my business in the last 6 months has increased threefold in terms of my personal income. And that's something obviously everybody wants, but if you think about if I'm sleeping better, if I'm thinking better, if I'm able to be more creative, how that translates into my business. And again, I believe in the compound effect. So what happens on month 1 and affects month 6 and affects month 12, and I just feel like, for me, I was trying to drive fast on bald tires, and I was pushing hard in the straights, but I'd come to the corners and I'd be all over the place. So I feel like working with Dr. Brooks has given me a new set of tires. So I might be able to still go as fast in down the straights, but now I've got that grip in the corner where I feel like I can hold my line, come out the other side, but I've got enough in the tank now to invest in my marriage and my kids at the end of the day, and that's priceless.
I noticed with my husband Andrew is before he went through the treatment, he would just be very fidgety, and if we were sitting in a meeting or church or something of that nature, he'd be kind of always sitting and fidgeting, or if he really needed to focus, he'd be kind of leaning forward and just kind of have to have his eyes closed to listen like this, and so And of course, then that looks like he's tired and bored and not paying attention when he was, but he had to really kind of dial in. Whereas now he just was sitting and involved, and he still likes to be up and moving around, but I think that's also just how kind of both of us are. We like to be moving while we're listening, while we're learning. But he's able to sit and focus. So that's one thing that was a big change. And then just him, composing emails. Used to be really hard for me because I have to go back in and I knew what he's trying to say and go back in and try to take a really, really long sentence and make it into 4 sentences. And now I don't have to do that as much. I mean, really, I think it's just a few spelling things here and there, but it's not how it was, where he would just have a big thought, and it might be how he would speak, but to get that in writing and to have him kind of complete a thought, have an end mark and then keep moving. And then his reading to the kids, so reading out loud, that's a big thing. And I think just with his eyes, you can just sense just more of the calm in his eyes, so that when he's reading with the kids, it's, he's still working, he's still doing some of his exercises and doing that, but it's definitely easier for him to just be able to read, and he probably doesn't even realize it actually, but that he can just read and it doesn't take so much effort to get through reading aloud.